This video will teach you everything you need to know to generate high quality leads through meta ads via their leads campaign type. And I'll walk you through everything you need to know, starting with the simple building blocks of how you actually set up these campaigns. And I'll then explain how to deliver leads either via your website or via lead forms where people submit their details on the Facebook platform. Now, if you stay until the end, I'll explain more about the strategic side of things, which is incredibly important because this will actually improve lead quality by ensuring only the right kind of people submit their details as a lead. And if you don't stay for this bit, you risk flooding your business with poor quality leads and wasting lots of time and money. And finally, I'll briefly cover some of the more advanced strategies that really help you make lots of money through these leads campaigns, such as CRM integrations and advanced audience targeting strategies. Let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is come into your ads manager and click this button here, which will open up this. Now, if you want leads, it's really important, and a big mistake that people make is they use other campaign types such as traffic and awareness when really what they want is people to speak to. So what you have to do is click this leads campaign and you select continue. So that will open up this here, and here we have the campaign level, the ad set level, and the actual ads themselves. The first thing you want to do is have a good naming convention. So you might want to start with the campaign type, leads. You might want to then go into the date. So you might, well, this is now May 2026. So you might want to put May 2026 and then the specific campaign that you're running. Okay. Next, it's going to ask you about the campaign budget or the ad set budget. This is simply where you're asking it where you want the budget to be tipped into. Do you want to tip the budget in at the top level here or the ad set level? Now, our advice, particularly for smaller budget campaigns, is to just have the one ad set. Tip all of your budget into that one main area. And the reason for that is because the algorithm nowadays is incredibly powerful, but it needs data to work. And if you start splitting it down into too many ad sets, and you're just going to fragment your budget and it's not going to get the power that it needs to really drive performance. So generally speaking, you're going to be tipping that budget in at the campaign level. The only reason I would split out different ad sets is when you want to target specific audiences with specific messaging. So if you have one that wants to target business owners and another ads that want to target marketing managers, you might need two different ad sets. And you might need two different budgets if you want to make sure each are getting their own amount of views. If you don't care where your leads come from business owners or marketing managers, then just tip it in at the top and the algorithm will figure out where to spend the budget most appropriately. So next we have the budget, and you can set it over daily or lifetime. Generally speaking, you're going to want a daily budget, right? And you can just set it, and every single day it will spend around that, but whatever you set it there. But it can spend a little bit over and it can spend a little bit less depending on what's going on the algorithm that day. But don't worry too much about that. Just get your daily budget set. If you have a specific time limited campaigns, you might have a time limited offer or something that's discount, something like that that's time limited, you might want to switch it to a lifetime budget. Generally speaking, that's everything you're going to need to do at the campaign level. Let's come to the ad set level. Again, I would name this name by audience. Right? So generally, we're going to be going with a broad audience, and we're going to be letting the AI figure out exactly who to show this to, because it is really powerful nowadays. We no longer have to break our targeting down by interest types and demographics and all of that side of things. You might want to restrict your demographics, which is you do that within the ad set level. But this is what is really important, the conversion location. Nowadays, predominantly, we're doing it via website and instant forms because some people will convert better on your website. Other people will convert better on an instant form, and we need to be able to give them the option to do both. Generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, higher quality leads will submit through the website as opposed to instant forms, but I'm going to explain to you later how you can improve the lead quality on instant forms, and it's with a process called friction. Friction is about how easy or how hard you make it for somebody to submit themselves as a lead. And if you don't have any friction, what you're going to get is flooded with low quality leads. And you'll think that you're doing really, really well and that you're bringing in all these leads, and then when you try and call them, they're not going to answer the phone, they're not going to be the right people, they're not going to have any interest, they're just going to have been happy button clicking across the Facebook platform. So if we give people the option to do both, that is generally where we need to be. I wouldn't worry about the attribution model. You can see there's only one option there. Now, if you are running sales campaigns, incremental will be an option. I'll cover that in other videos, so don't worry too much about that. And then you have your budget schedule where you can quite simply say when you want it to start and when you want it to end. So you can build your ads ahead of time, your campaigns ahead of time, and they will launch on the date and time that you tell it to. Here we have audience controls, and the audience controls, you can set the geographic location. You might be a local service business and you only want to target people within a certain geographic area, and this is how you do it here. But you must appreciate your ads will be served to people when they are in the location. So if they're driving along a road and they stop at a service station within your geographic boundary that you set, they may be served your ad and they'll continue their journey. They might be 200 miles away, and it's possible then when they go home, they're going to submit themselves as a lead. You're just going to have to accept that that may happen, okay? But for the most part, your ads will be delivered to the right people if you set the location targeting within here, which is really, really simple to do. So you can quite simply search for your location, or you can just drop a pin wherever you need it to be, and you can set your distance along here. So you can say, within 30 miles of that pin, so you cover the general geographic area. So if you drop that on your business location and you think I only want clients within 30 miles, that's exactly how you do it. There is this button here, which is where you reach more people likely to respond to your ads. It should still serve within your location, generally speaking, but just have to be careful. Monitor how that goes, and you can turn it off if you need to. There's more controls here. This is more of an advanced sort of stuff, so don't worry too much about that for the time being. This is where you can exclude people. So if you want to exclude people who have already been to your website or who are your existing customers, so your existing customers aren't seeing a particular offer or anything that you have, this is where you do it, and it's super straightforward to do. With placements, you can control where people are seeing your ads, but I wouldn't do it. I would leave everything within placements exactly where it is so that the algorithm can just figure where it's going to get the best conversions. If you want to purely advertise on the Facebook feed and the Instagram feed and nowhere else, that is going to cost you more money. So it is better because these are, they're just higher value placements, so you pay more for them. Whereas if you allow the algorithm to do everything, it will show on the marketplace, the Reels feed, the video feed, etc. And you're just going to get a broader spread, more nurture, more engagement, and you will see more conversions. Finally, let's talk about how you do your ads. And first of all, the first thing I always do is start with ad one, and then I name the creative or offer. The important thing with your naming convention is that when you briefly look at the list of ads that you have, you can quickly determine which ads are performing the best, because that's really important for how you refine and improve your advertising over time. Make sure it's linked to the correct page, Instagram profile and Threads profile if you have one, we don't. Then you want to set your conversion locations. So if I set it for my homepage, that's absolutely fine. You can set it for your homepage, but you might have a specific landing page. Just get that dropped in there and make sure that you're testing different locations to see which is producing the best results for you. And then this is where you build your form. This is the form where people can submit their details. It's housed on the Facebook system. You'll get a cheaper lead cost with forms, but the trade-off is you will get a slightly lower quality of lead, but you will still get good leads. Now, what I would always do with these, you can go for more volume, but you're just going to get spammed with the low quality rubbish. You can go for higher intent, which requires leads to verify their phone number. Again, that just adds a little bit of friction, puts a bit of a barrier, and makes sure the people that are getting through are more serious. And then when those leads do drop in, the algorithm can think about who that person was that submitted themselves as a lead, what their user behavior was before they submitted themselves as a lead, and then it can go find more similar people going forwards. But what we're often doing is doing this, which is a rich creative form, and I'll explain more about that in a moment. Okay, so There's lots of settings here, but these are more advanced. So we just click next, and what you can do is you can obviously add your image to get it designed. You can add your headlines, so whatever you like can go in here. Oh, whatever you like can go in there. But headlines have to be grabbing. They have to really capture people's attention. And if you're following the advice on this channel, you will know how to write effective headlines to capture and hook people in. Here is where you're going to talk about your offer or service. And we need to be keeping whatever's in there quite brief. You can see Facebook has actually limited you to 81 characters in there. We can list our benefits about the service. So it could be low cost, it could be free shipping, it could be a certain limited time discount, etc. But again, you have limited characters. Generally speaking, when you click Optimized, the best thing you can do is add as much information and detail within this form as possible, and then let the algorithm decide what is working and what to display to people. Some people prefer lots of information, other people don't like a lot at all, and it needs to be kept nice and simple for them. We're all different in that respect, and if you click that Optimized button, it will customize how the form looks to the individual, which is really, really powerful. So we can add a bit about how it works, the different products you have, the social proof. This is really important, so you can add images of your Google reviews or anything like that you have, might be case studies, and make sure you get that in, and any incentives such as time limited discounts or anything that you have to really push people over the line. Get that all in there. This is the next and probably the last and most important section. So this is about what questions you're going to ask people. So this is about your friction. Our advice in here is to always ask a question that requires them to have a short answer. And the reason we do that is because it stops and makes them think about what they're inputting. It can be really simple. You can be asking them the city or the town where they live or the nearest place where they live. And just that act of them having to stop and type pushes them from what we call the fast thinking brain into the slow thinking brain to consider that they're actually submitting themselves appropriately as their lead. They're not just button mashing mindlessly and then landing in your inbox for somebody to call that isn't going to go anywhere. So make sure at least you have one question that you make them type an answer to slow them down. I guarantee that alone will massively push up your lead quality. Then just the contact information you want, enter your privacy policy, think about the end screen that you want. Facebook automatically sets it with thanks, you're all set. You can write whatever you like in here, which is going to be something, just some sort of a quick message to help people out. And then you have an additional call to action button. Do you want to speak to people on WhatsApp? Do you want to direct people to call your business? Do you want to send people to a file so you could have a brochure to download or something similar to that, some sort of information package? Or do you just want to direct them to your website? Whatever you do just needs to be well considered. So let's talk about some more advanced strategies here. I'm not going to give you a full walkthrough around this stuff. There are other videos that we have around how to integrate your CRM. A CRM is a customer relationship management tool. And what you can do with a CRM is when these leads are coming through, either from a website or a form, you can squirt that person's details into your customer relation management tool, when they can then have automated emails, text messages, and it just means that your information is stored in one place and you can manage those people to determine when you call them, when's the last contact you had, and to record all the activity and information, because generating leads is one thing, converting them is another. And all of the evidence from places like Harvard Business Review, all these studies over the years, is really, really quite clear, which is the quicker you can get onto these leads, the more exponentially likely that you are to be able to convert them. If you can call them within at least the first 24 hours, that's what you need to be doing. But if you can call them within an hour, or preferably within 15 minutes, that's when you're going to start to get your conversions. It's difficult to do because the leads are going to come in at all sorts of different times of the day. But with a CRM, you can systemize and you can automate all of that stuff. You can get onto them quicker, and that's where you're going to start getting the conversions. If you wait 3-5 days before you call these people, particularly from Facebook, you might as well not bother. Leads from Facebook are a little less high intent than they are from SEO or from Google Ads, which we also teach on this channel. So we need to treat them with a lot more urgency if you want to realize the full commercial value of them. So that is the basics of a lead generation campaign, but also the more advanced stuff, which is how to integrate a CRM. Now, in terms of what you do with your CRM to set it up, to make that all firing, follow this channel because we will be introducing more videos around all of that side of things. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.